Hey, right now, are you even here? Or is your mind 1,000 miles away, tangled in yesterday's regrets or tomorrow's worries? I'm not just asking to mess with you. I'm a senior who's walked the path of the Buddhist teachings for decades, and I've seen how we all drift, lost in thought, while life slips through our fingers. As the Buddha's advocate, I'm here to hand you a lifeline, a simple ancient practice called mindfulness in all postures. It's not about sitting cross-legged for hours. It's about waking up to this very moment, whether you're walking, standing, sitting, or lying down. Stick with me and I'll show you how to anchor yourself in the now, straight from the Buddha's wisdom, with real stories from my own long life to prove it works. Let's dig deeper with a question that might jolt you. When was the last time you truly noticed what your body's doing? Not just autopilot shuffling through your day, but feeling your feet hit the ground or your spine against a chair. Most of us are so caught up in mental noise, work stress, family drama, endless to-do lists, that we're ghosts in our own lives. I've been there too, back when I was hustling through my 50s, always planning the next big thing, never seeing the present. But the Buddha taught a way out. Iriya, mindfulness in every posture. It's the art of knowing exactly what you're doing right now, walking, standing, sitting, or resting. This isn't some lofty monk-only trick. It's for regular folks like you and me in the middle of a busy European city or an American suburb. Imagine catching yourself mid-step on a London sidewalk or waiting for a New York bus, asking, "What am I doing?" and suddenly feeling alive. That's the power I've lived, and I've got a treasure chest of insights to share. Let me walk you through how this small shift saved me from drowning in distraction, and how it can do the same for you no matter where you are. Let's unpack the nuts and bolts of this practice step by step, with real moments from my journey to make it stick. First, let's set the stage with the Buddha's own words, straight from the Satipatthana Sutta, a foundational text I've studied since my hair started graying. The Buddha said, "When walking, a monk understands, I am walking. When standing, he understands, I am standing. When sitting, he understands, I am sitting. When lying down, he understands, I am lying down." Sounds basic, right? But it's profound. This isn't just about labeling your actions. It's about cutting through the fog of your mind to be with your body. Back in my 60s, I was a mess. Retired, but my head was still in boardroom battles, replaying old arguments while I paced my Manchester garden. I'd walk laps around the roses, not seeing a single petal, until a Buddhist friend pointed me to this teaching. "Just know you're walking," he said. So I tried it. Mid-step, I'd mutter to myself, "I'm walking," and focus on the gravel crunching underfoot, the cool breeze on my neck, the rhythm of my breath. Slowly the mental chatter faded. I wasn't just pacing, I was present. That's the core of Iriya, awareness of posture as your anchor. It's not meditation in a quiet room, it's meditation in motion in life. Whether you're standing in a Berlin queue, sitting at a Chicago diner, or lying awake in a Seattle bedroom, you can do this. No special gear, no silent retreat, just you noticing. Let me paint a picture. Imagine you're on a crowded tube in London, crushed between commuters, stress spiking over a late meeting. Instead of spiraling, you pause. You feel your feet planted on the swaying floor, your hand gripping the rail, and whisper to yourself, "I'm standing." That's it. That split-second awareness pulls you out of the mental storm into the raw, real now. I've done it on buses and grocery lines, even during sleepless nights when my old bones ache. Research backs this up. Studies like those from the University of Massachusetts Medical School show mindfulness reduces stress by up to 30% in just weeks, simply by grounding attention in the body. But beyond data, it's the lived experience that counts. I remember a rainy afternoon in my 70s, sitting by my window watching drops streak down the glass. My mind wanted to drag me into worries about my grandkids' futures, but I caught it. "I'm sitting, I told myself, feeling the chair's hard edge under me, the warmth of my tea mug in my hands. The anxiety didn't vanish, but it loosened its grip. This practice isn't about perfection. It's about returning over and over. The Buddha didn't promise a quick fix, he promised a path. And I've walked it long enough to know it works, from bustling city streets to quiet countryside evenings. You don't need to be a monk or have hours to spare. Start where you are. Right now, as you read this, notice your posture. Are you slouched? Upright? Feel it? That's the first step, and it's a game changer for anyone, whether you're in a Paris cafe or a Texas backyard. Let's keep going because there's a twist to this practice that'll make you see your daily grind in a whole new light. Now, here's a curveball to reignite your curiosity. What if the most mundane moments of your day, brushing your teeth, waiting for coffee, even lying in bed, are secretly the best chances to transform your mind? Most folks think mindfulness is for special times like a yoga class or a retreat in the Alps. But the Buddha didn't limit it to that. He said to be aware in every posture, every second. I stumbled on this truth by accident a few years back in my late 70s, during a painfully boring wait at a doctor's office in Bristol. I was annoyed, flipping through a stale magazine, my hip throbbing from sitting too long. Then I remembered the teaching. I'm sitting, I thought, and tuned into the ache in my back, the cold plastic of the chair, the distant hum of voices. Time didn't speed up, but my irritation melted. I wasn't just waiting, I was being. That's the hidden gem. The dullest, most frustrating parts of your day are ripe for awakening. Think about your own routine. Maybe you're stuck in a Los Angeles traffic jam, gripping the wheel, fuming. Or standing in a long Amsterdam grocery line, scrolling your phone mindlessly. What if, instead, you noticed, felt your hands on the steering wheel, the tension in your jaw, or the weight of your feet on the supermarket floor? I've tested this in every posture the Buddha named. Walking through my local park, I'd focus on each step. Left, left, feeling the uneven path, the swing of my arms. Standing at my kitchen counter, chopping carrots for soup, I'd sense the knife's weight, the crunch of the blade, and think, I'm standing. Lying down at night, when sleep wouldn't come, I'd trace the feel of the mattress under me, the rise and fall of my chest. Each time it's like flipping a switch. My mind snaps back from wherever it's wandered. This isn't just my story, it's universal. A 2019 study from Harvard found that people spend nearly 47% of their waking hours lost in thought, disconnected from the present. That's half your life. But mindfulness and postures can claw that back, moment by moment. I've shared this with friends across the pond, from a stressed-out New Yorker who tried it during subway rides to a London mum who used it while rocking her baby to sleep. They all felt the shift. A quieter mind, a sharper focus. So, I'm throwing this challenge at you. Pick one boring or stressful moment today and try it. Notice your posture. Feel it. You'll be amazed how something so small can crack open a door to peace. Let's dive even deeper now because I've got a story that'll show you just how far this practice can take you. Here's the heart of it, the climax of why mindfulness in all postures isn't just a neat trick. It's a lifeline that can rewrite how you live. Let me take you back to a moment that shook me to my core about a decade ago when I was pushing 80. My wife had just passed and I was drowning in grief, living alone in my quiet Liverpool flat. Every day felt heavy. Walking to the corner shop, I'd replay our last conversations. Sitting at our old table, I'd stare at her empty chair. Lying in bed, I'd ache for her warmth. My mind was a prison of pain, and no amount of distraction helped. Then I turned back to the Buddhist teaching, almost out of desperation. Know your posture, I reminded myself. So, while walking to buy bread, I focused hard. Felt the pavement under my worn shoes, the ache in my knees, the cold wind on my face. I'm walking, I repeated silently. The grief didn't disappear, but it stopped swallowing me whole. I was walking, not just remembering. Sitting at that lonely table, I grip my coffee cup, feel its heat, notice my hunched shoulders and think, I'm sitting. It grounded me, pulled me out of the past into the now. Lying down at night, I'd trace every sensation. The creak of the bed, the weight of the blanket, my slow breaths, and whisper, I'm lying down. Night after night, this practice became my anchor. It didn't erase the loss, but it gave me space to breathe through it. The Buddha's logic is ironclad here. The body is always in the present. The mind isn't. By tying your attention to your posture, you drag your mind back to reality. It's not theory, it's physics of the soul. I've seen this save others too. A dear friend in Boston, a single dad in his 40s, was spiraling after a brutal divorce. He'd call me, voice cracking, saying he couldn't focus at work, couldn't sleep. I walked him through this practice over the phone. When you're at your desk, feel it. Say, I'm sitting. When you're pacing your apartment, notice it. Say, I'm walking. He started small, but within weeks he told me he felt steadier, not fixed but less lost. Science echoes this. Research from the Journal of Behavioral Therapy in 2020 shows mindfulness practices like body awareness cut anxiety symptoms by 25% on average, because they interrupt rumination cycles. But let's get granular with how this works in every posture. Walking. Next time you're heading to a meeting in Frankfurt or a friend's place in San Francisco, don't just move. Feel each step. The shift of weight, the bend of your ankle, the air against your skin. Say to yourself, I'm walking. It takes seconds but rewires your focus. Standing. Whether you're in a Glasgow pub waiting for a pint or at a Denver bus stop, plant your feet. Notice the pressure on your soles, the straightness of your spine. Think, I'm standing. It's a mini reset. Sitting. At a Paris office desk or a Florida porch swing, feel the chair beneath you, the angle of your back, the weight of your hands. Whisper, I'm sitting. It cuts through mental clutter like a knife. Lying down, in a Stockholm apartment or a Houston suburb, as you rest, tune into the bed's support, the rhythm of your breath, the stillness. Say, I'm lying down. It can turn restless nights into moments of peace. I've lived this across decades in every corner of life, from morning to mundane errands, and I swear by its power. The Buddha gave us this tool not to escape life's mess, but to face it fully right where we are. It's not about feeling good all the time, it's about feeling real. And trust me, after 80+ years, I know real is what matters most. Let's wrap this up with a lighter moment, because even deep practices can spark a smile. Now, let's ease up for a second and have a little chuckle over how sneaky this practice can be. I call it the gotcha moment of mindfulness. Picture this. I'm in my late 80s now, still spry enough to potter around my little garden shed in the English countryside, but not above getting lost in my head. Just last week, I'm sitting on my rickety old stool, fiddling with some rusty tools, mind a million miles away, worrying about whether I've got enough savings left for the grandkids' Christmas gifts. I'm so deep in thought, I don't even notice I've been hunched over like a question mark for half an hour, back screaming. Then, out of nowhere, that old Buddha trick pops into my noggin. I stop, smirk to myself and think, what am I doing right now? I straighten up, feel the hard stool under me, the ache in my spine, the cold metal of the screwdriver in my gnarled hands, and mutter, I'm sitting. It's almost comical. Here I am, an old codger caught daydreaming again, yanked back to reality by a question so simple it's ridiculous. But that's the magic. It's like the Buddha's winking at me from centuries ago, saying, gotcha, mate. Come back to now. I've had these moments everywhere. Once, walking down a busy Manchester street to the post office, I'm stewing over a doctor's bill, nearly trip on a curb because I'm not paying attention. Then I catch myself, what am I doing? and feel the uneven pavement, the swing of my cane, the bustle around me. I'm walking, I grumble, half laughing at how daft I've been. It's a tiny wake-up call, but it feels like a splash of cold water. Refreshing, even funny. I've shared this with a buddy in Chicago over Zoom, a retired trucker who'd get lost in road rage flashbacks while just standing at his sink washing dishes. I told him, ask yourself what you're doing. Feel your feet, man. Next call, he's cackling, telling me he caught himself mid-rant, suds dripping off his hands, and thought, I'm standing. Said it felt like he dodged a mental pothole. These little gotcha moments pile up, turning mindfulness into a quiet game you play with yourself. It's not all somber soul-searching. Sometimes it's just you laughing at how often you wander off, then gently tugging yourself back. Try it next time you're zoned out, scrolling TikTok on a London bus, or lying awake in a Boston flat obsessing over tomorrow. Ask that question. Feel your posture. I bet you'll crack a smile when you realize how far your mind's run, and how easy it is to reel it in. It's a small joy, but after all these years, I've learned small joys are the ones that stick. So, let's tie this all together with a bow of clarity and a nudge to keep going. Mindfulness in all postures, straight from the Buddha's mouth, is your ticket to living right here, right now. Whether you're walking through a Dublin park, standing in a Berlin queue, sitting at a San Diego desk, or lying down in a Toronto bed. It's not fancy, it's just noticing. Ask yourself, what am I doing? Feel your body. That's it. I've lived this for decades, through grief, boredom, and everyday chaos, and I promise it can steady your mind like nothing else. Start small, pick one moment today and try it. I wish you health, happiness, and freedom from suffering as we say, Namo Buddhaya. If you found a spark of value in my stories and the Buddha's wisdom, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Your support keeps me sharing. And hey, videos like this can vanish sometimes, so don't miss out. Stay connected. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one moment in your day where you'd like to feel more present? Drop it in the comments and let's chat.